Alrighty. We are at part C. In between part B is where I need to go in and start to name some of other variables that actually takes place in this thing. First of all, you got to double, right? Some of the some of the data types that we're dealing with is length, right? Width, just to looking at the output of and that we're going to calculate the area and the square right now with it. So I'm going to knock this out one. Radius with it. All these are doubles with it. I'm just going to separate the length and the width with the double for the beginning balance and interest rate. Okay, so begin balance, okay, comma, and interest rate. Okay, so all these are a double with it. We also need to actually do a string because we're taking in first name and last name with it. So string data type, first name and last name. Now just FYI, string is a data type. If you notice, if you can't see it, it's gonna turn. It's supposed to be blue. Like I said, this is one of the quirky things about this compiler. It's lowercase string. This is a data type. Don't worry. It's supposed to turn blue. It's something that's a little glitchy with the Visual Studio. We also have int age, and I would like, so one more is the ch for the character ch. Just call it ch with it. This is all of your identification for your identifiers with this. So we'll leave it with that. The next step is we need to bring into what's looking at is to set the positions to round off. If you look at the bottom of page 177, all those positions that you round off is in the hundredth position. Hundred with a th. So for me, in order to do this, to write to a file with this thing, if you recall that the out file, which is this, okay, is what we use out here. And what do you remember that syntax we talked about in lecture? Okay, so that's the extractor, and then you actually use what? Fix this, and you do what? Show point, and then you do what? Set positions, and do 2. Okay, so these are the two. Everything below this line of code here will do what? Will set everything in motion with this thing. So part 1, you might ask, step number 1 is declare this variable. Okay, step number 2, step number 3. Okay, so if you're going to do this thing, what? You can call this thing step number 3, right? And step number 4 is basically how you handle everything in this in file and out file with this thing. So take a look at your in file right now. You need to read in. Okay, so our in file, you need to read in this variable. Story is what? As the length, space, width. Store that in as length and width, and we need to output it what we read in, and then we calculate what is the length and the width, times it together. That'll give us the area with this. There is a mistake. There is a typo on number 1D. You see where it says parameter equals 31.1 or 31.10. It's supposed to be perimeter. All right, so there's no such thing as parameter that I know of, but it's perimeter. I think that, so it's P-E-R-I-M-E-T-E-R, perimeter with that as well. So we need to write a statement how to read this in as length right here, and then a width, and then we do the calculation with it. Okay, so how do we do that? How do we go about doing that? Hold on a second.